Hey everyone, this is Grady at SUBOVERLAND. I'm on my way right now to look at two cars today and hopefully get them both, but I thought I'd give you a little explanation of the process. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so we are heading to Burley, Idaho. We're located in Twin Falls, and Burley's like 40 minutes away. And I'm looking at a 95 Chevy Suburban. It's a 3/4 ton with the big block engine, so that'd be kind of fun to see that one. And then I'm also looking at a, I believe it's like an 03 half-ton Suburban. So we're going there, but before I go check out the vehicles, I got to run to the bank. So I've got my money here. So I bank at Wells Fargo because they're everywhere. So I've got my got 6,000 cash. These things aren't, you know, crazy expensive. We'll see how much we get them for. And then obviously before I get in the car and do all this process, I'm hunting on Facebook Marketplace. So that's where I found both of these. I hopped on Marketplace and I've been communicating with them. We've already, you know, decided on, you know, if they're negotiable or not on their price. I've asked them questions like, is the title clean and clear in your name? So if it's a clean title, I don't mess with any rebuilt stuff. And they've all said that the title is clean and everything. And then I ask questions like, is it mechanically sound? Any rust? How long have you owned it for? I want to kind of know some history and see if they're just trying to flip it or whatever. And I get as much history as possible through this little conversation. And then you just got to go and drive it next. All right, guys, so we're here with the Suburban. This is a 95 Suburban, 3/4 ton, 4-wheel drive, and it has pretty low miles, 135K. And apparently they're like the third owner. And yeah, let's walk around and see. So at first, I'll just come, I just visually will look at the car and I'll be like, okay, hood, clear coat's going bad. And then the roof. So we have some body work to do on this, paint wise. And then here looks pretty straight. I'll look underneath here to see if, you know, we got a little bit, you know, this is, you know, surface. This isn't, you know, like it's not rotting or anything over here. Paint's actually pretty good. It has new tires. That really doesn't matter for us because we replace them. But if I want to sell them, these are like literally brand new, so I can maybe get a little bit more out of them because they're new. So that's something I can think about. Now back here, now this is where it gets a little dicey, guys. So I usually don't purchase a vehicle that's in this condition as far as like the back hatch here, or these barn doors. It's kind of weird. So this is starting to bubble. So this is getting to a little bit more than surface. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more body work, especially over here too. So this just collected water. I don't know, this car's been in Idaho its whole life. And so I know like the frame and undercarriage looks really good, but for whatever reason, this just kind of happens on some cars. So we've got this and that, and then over here, same thing. So we're gonna have to, you know, cut that, or I mean, you know, tape that off, do some body work here, and to make this car, you know, whole. It's got a little dent right here, but body's really straight, I would say. And it has those rust spots, but frame's all good. Undercarriage is just all surface, so that's why you know, I could maybe overlook that and be all right with it. Okay, so the next step I would do after inspecting all the outside, and I would tell you, on some cars, I'll literally drive up, and I've driven a long time to get there, and then I will just pass. Like, I won't even drive the car just because of rust issue or something like that. So I haven't even driven it. Those ones are kind of disappointing. But this one, I gave it a chance. So I'll pop the hood next. And this hood, sometimes on these 90s, kind of tough. So you got to do the Chevy punch. Here we are. And then just on initial inspection here, I've got mice, a little bit of mice in here, guys. So we've got some mice, you know, they've built a nest down there. And so this isn't the end of the world. This gentleman, you know, he said he'd been driving it and stuff, but he parks it during the summer. He drives it during the winter. And so this is what I'm assuming happened. What you have to watch out for is like wiring and stuff. And so the mice will get into. And so over here, you know, I'll inspect over here. Here's like gonna be some looms. The mice didn't get over here. I'm replacing spark plugs anyway in case they got into that. So I'm all right with this initial inspection. So now I will start up the car. And I'll just be listening for obviously engine noises, knocks, stuff like that. Oil cap. So I'm inspecting this. Does it smell like coolant? No. There's no sign of head gasket. Nothing going on there. And then I'll check transmission fluid. To see if it's burnt. We're good, we can see through it. It's in good shape. And then when the car's off, I'll check the oil to see how the level is. Especially on a big block like this, they can use oil. They'll burn oil, even from the factory. And so it's just depending on how much oil they are using. And then I'll check things like air conditioning and things like that. Coolant level, I'll check over here. Coolant level also, it's good. So now we're in the car here, guys, and I'll go through like some HVAC stuff. So I will turn that on, and he mentioned that the AC needs to be recharged, and I'm not hearing the compressor kick on or anything like that. So yes, put that on the list. I need to do something with the AC. Hopefully it's just a recharge and there was a minor leak that I can figure out. And then I'll usually check radio function. This is an aftermarket radio. Here we go, something's happening, guys. Oh yeah, we've got tunes. And then I'll check window function. This one obviously went down. And then over there. Yep. Oh, this one isn't going down all the way. So that's something I need to look into. And then I'll do other, you know, like blower motor noises. Ooh, that one. That rear one's starting to make some noise. That's for sure. So I got that on the list. And then I'll go through four-wheel drive stuff. So try to engage in four-wheel drive there. And I'll drive it. That's a bummer. It's I mean, it's engaging mechanically, but it looks like my actuator isn't going for the front diff. So that's something to talk to the owner about and see if we can get some price off of that. And then I will, you know, take it for a drive. And on the drive, I'll go through some highway stuff, try to get it up to speed as much as possible. And then, so I can get that transmission nice and hot. and then I'll do some in-town things to see, you know, front end and check all of that. So that's like mainly on the test drive itself. All right, guys, so I ended up talking with the seller, and we actually purchased this car. So this is a 95 and has really low miles. Apparently it was owned by some famous person up north. She was like a singer, Carole King. I don't know if you guys know her, comment below, but I need to look her up. Apparently she's famous. But on the title, so I'll check the title here, and I'll do like a VIN inspection. So I'll inspect the title on the, or the VIN on the car, if it matches with the title and the year and everything, and then be sure it's a clean title before I do anything there. And we exchanged money. I buy everything with cash. Cash is king. That's very important when you're buying a car. The last thing you want to do is show up not like ready to actually purchase it. That's just annoying for the seller. And you know, oh, I gotta run to the bank, and you know, just get the cash and go for it. That's the best route to do it. Okay guys, so usually on a test drive, also I forgot to mention this, I will plug in my scanner. Even if there's no warning lights, sometimes people will take out the bulb or something weird's going on. So I always like to scan the vehicle and see what's going on. This is a 95, and so it's OBD1, and so I actually don't have a scanner for this. And so you just kind of have to rely more on the dash. It's more old school, a lot less codes, so I'm not as concerned. This thing the engine sounded really good. You know, it's not throwing any codes. But normally, I'll plug this thing in, go through the auto scan, and this is just another negotiating point that you can have when you're purchasing the vehicle. Is to see if, you know, it's got check engine light. Hey, that's going to cost $500. Like, what do you think? So it's just another good thing to do, is always have a scanner. All right, so that is pretty much it, guys. I know that was kind of all over the place, but buying cars, it's not for sissies. Let's just say that, all right? It's not easy. Some people enjoy it, but if you're not mechanically, you know, inclined or don't have a ton of patience, I don't suggest getting into this business. It can be tough. We ended up, like I said, buying this, and it worked out, but I still have a ton of work to do to get this thing up to speed. But hopefully that video helped you guys if you're wanting to purchase your own vehicle, or it also helps, you know, clients that are kind of on the fence of like, do I want Grady to source us a vehicle or not? And hopefully that kind of helps answer what I go through as far as like the process to get your vehicles. They're all hand-picked. I'm not just like going to an auction and letting someone else buy the vehicles. Like, I'm out here taking time away from my other stuff to drive each of these vehicles and, you know, pass on a lot of them. I'm about to head to another one to see how that one is, but I might pass on it. You know, I pass on a lot of these vehicles. So thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We'd love to have you here on the channel, and we'll catch you on the next video.